Well, with travel restrictions loosening, more folks are tentatively looking at taking trips. Joining us to talk about how our hotel experiences will be different is Pauline Frommer, editorial director of Frommers. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too. Thank you for taking the time. So one of the words that gets used, maybe a bit too much, but it's appropriate, is unprecedented. We are due for some unprecedented changes in every facet of life, but certainly in travel. How are things going to be different?
Well, a lot of travel businesses may not make it out of this time of no travel. That their profit margins are often razor thin. And so in order to travel in the near future, you're going to have to do a lot more research than you used to. You can't just expect to roll into a town and find a hotel that will be open to take you. By some estimates, between 20 and 40% of the hotels in the United States could go under.
Is this going to be these changes that are taking place? Are they going to be more on us, the travelers, or is it going to be more on the industry, or we're going to have to both make adjustments?
I think it's both. I mean, you're seeing the industry step up with a lot more protocols for cleaning, for making customers feel safe. But the customer has to do their due diligence too. For example, you may think, oh, it's a big name hotel, I should be fine going there. But you have to remember, most hotel chains are franchised. So you're going to be dealing with an individual owner. You want to make sure they're in business. And a weird thing happened about a decade ago. Hotel rooms got smaller and smaller and smaller, whereas public facilities got more elaborate. So people were picking hotels less for the hotel room than for the free buffet or the spa or the glamorous lobby with its bar. That bar ain't going to be open, neither will the spa. So you want to choose your hotels by the size of the room right now, because that will be your experience.
I have to imagine that the hotel industry is paying super close attention to the car rental industry and the airlines, because my wife travels for work. She utilizes all those businesses, but if those aren't happening, people can't even get to the hotels, at least business-wise, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of airfares, we may see a spike in airfares. In order to enact rules of social distancing aboard planes, airlines are going to have to cap the number of people in each plane. And so in recent calls to investors, CEOs have been saying, we're expecting airfares to go up by 50%. So if you have a grandmother who lives across the country, or a honeymoon, or you know you're going to be flying, buy your tickets now, because prices are going to rise.
Good tip. Thank you. Appreciate it. Speaking of our money and prices, there's always people out there waiting to take advantage of people who aren't being too wise with their money. I imagine there are going to be some fraudulent situations with this where, again, if a situation sounds too good to be true to book, it probably is.
Well, it probably is, but quite honestly, I think we're going to see more fraud in other industries, because not many people are traveling right now. So they'd be kind of wasting their time in the travel industry.
That makes sense. What about some of the other, we've been talking about hotels, but what about Airbnb and the other platforms?
They've got an existential problem, because they're all owned by individual owners. So they can't put out the same types of press releases that Marriott and Hilton and all the other big name hoteliers are doing, showing in detail their cleaning procedures. So they cannot guarantee that where you're staying will be sufficiently clean. They're making lots of noise about the fact that they're trying to educate their hosts, but this is a case where a person needs to do their due diligence. Interestingly, a lot of people are traveling for longer periods of time because they don't have to go into work right now. So they're traveling for a month and a half, and renting Airbnbs for that period of time.
I would imagine the Airbnb reviews may take a slant towards the cleanliness and level of that. Absolutely.
And Airbnb is instituting a system whereby hosts can train and get a special badge. The key thing to look at is there a blackout period between guests in your Airbnb? All of the hotels are doing this because they want the droplets to have time to fall and die between guests. So make sure that there's a 24 to 48 hour blackout period between when guests are invited in.
Wow, another great tip. Frommers.com, right?
Yes, please visit us there. We have all of this on there, plus many more, and lots of fun articles too about cocktail recipes and culture and history, and you'll enjoy it.
You guys are a legacy. We appreciate it. Frommer's.com. We'll put that link on indystyle.tv. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your expertise.